Hello there my fellow holotable heroes, and welcome to another 5v5 counter testing video. You'll be able to find this and all my counter videos on my SWGOH Live website. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. There'll be a link in the description below. Now today I'll show you a few battles I tried out here in the final week of 5v5 Grand Arena season. Malgus is definitely a very tough team to take down without using Galactic Legend. So I've seen people having very successful General Skywalker. So this week I decided to put it to the test myself as well. So for the first one, going up against two Omicrons on Malgus and as well Datacron there without health. So always look out when it comes to these Datacrons. Is there any health on here? Because Malgus's big hit is based off his max health. So the more health he has, the harder he will hit. Now in terms of the Datacron for General Skywalker, just put the best defense. That's the best I've got, 145% defense. Because as soon as gas is down, you want your clones to be as durable as possible so they can survive long enough until gas stands up. That's the overall idea. So let's go hop in the battle and let's see if these boys can get this done for me or not. There we go. They'll go first. Put fear on everybody. There we go. Gas is already down. Almost. The first things first, you definitely want to go after Malak. Just keep going after him. Good thing about it is he doesn't have protection, so you start reducing his max health straight away whenever you hit him with gas. There goes already the sacrifice on 5s. I'm just speeding up the footage because for first minute you're just kind of more or less watching them taking turns. But after gas finally gets up, you can get plays going. Okay, here comes another round of fear. There we go, counterattacks, finishing off Malak. So at this point, if you take Malak down, before gas gets down second time, you're good to go, I think. Because without Malak, you can actually eventually pick these guys apart. Rex goes down. He didn't do a whole lot this time. But hey, that's okay. We'll keep going. Come on, guys, buddy. Stand up. There we go. Let's go ahead and dispel the taunt on Malgus. So hopefully we can go after Basti whenever John Skywalker, there we go, decides to join the party again. 1 hit, 2 hit. Oh, no critical hits, unfortunately. Definitely that high critical avoidance from Malgus lead is a little bit slowing us down. But eventually, come on, give me some counters. 1 hit, 2 hit. Down goes Darth Revan. I need Basti down ASAP. Come on. There we go. Almost there. 1 hit, 2 hit. Basti's down, and at this point, you are pretty good to go. Eventually, you will whittle down Malgus with gas. And the 2 clones left. Okay, yeah, there we go. 1 hit, 2 hit. Come on, gas, buddy. You can do this. There we go. Not a clean win, so that would be a 56 banner win. But still, hey, you do save yourself a Galactic Legend, right? So, after this victory, I'm like, let's try this again in the following round. However, remember I was pointing out the health issue. This one has plus 51% health on his Datacron, which means that this Malgus will be doing a lot more damage. I know I sped up for the footage, but I think the first one did about 138,000 on his big head. So you will definitely see the big boost of damage from here. Now, because of that extra health, I thought instead of going for defense, maybe go for some extra protection so gas can actually take that big hit, because if you don't have enough of protection and Malgus does have a lot of health on his Datacron, Malgus potentially could just, you know, immediately with his first hit get your General Skywalker down. So that was the idea. Let's see how these different Datacrons will affect the outcome of the battle. Also worth mentioning, all 3 Omicrons on this Malgus. Okay, same thing as they put fear, they put a big hit, so what was like 178, so it's 40k extra there on Malgus's hit. So definitely I think when it comes to this counter, the Datacrons will play a huge part. Rex actually was able to get out. I'm like, okay, this is looking good. But unfortunately was not able to get Malak down fast enough, and this eventually will cause some complications. Malak is still standing. Okay, let's go ahead, dispel that, and that was the end of the battle pretty much. There we go. Let's see if gas can at least take down Malak. There we go, took down Malak, but it wasn't enough anymore actually to pull out a win in the end. Took too long there to take down Malak. So you can see definitely this extra health for Malgus just brings gas down almost instantly as soon as he gets up. So I wasn't really able to take Malak down fast enough. So use with caution. I think this counter can work, but it will a lot depend obviously on what Datacrons you have and what Datacrons your enemies have. But at least it's there. It's available for you to give it a go unless you have no other option. Speaking of these kind of counters, same thing, Raddus versus Grand Inquisitor. Now this works pretty well, however, because of the level 9 Datachron that prevents us from stunning Inquisitors, this becomes a little bit problematic, as well as their damage immunity, which you will see again in another battle. So it's the first time I'm doing this, I have no idea, I'm just going in with defense Datachron. Ideally, I think I would bring in K2, but he's only relic 3, and then I won't be able to get enough defense boost from my guys from Datacrons. So they get a jump start. That's okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I can't stun, but I can remove Termiter from 7th Sister. So I'm just checking which abilities got the cleanse on it, because normally I put Raddus on defense. I'm just still figuring it out. Alright, okay, let's go ahead and do the Dispel. Let's get all this junk off us. There we go. I'm going to now use Frenzy, I guess, and I'll just keep going. There we go. We push back some Termiter 9th Sister. We're stuck obviously behind the taunt. I'm just going to go ahead. Let's see if we can give turn over there, over to Cassian, so he gets another turn, more debuffs out. So we already upload progress is pretty good now, but unfortunately they were able to ability block my Admiral Raddus, so whenever he gets a turn, I can't use his a big hit yet. I'm like, uh-oh, just stay away. Oh, stay away from Raddus. He's dazed, ability blocked. I'm like, come on, guys. There we go. Luckily, Jean was very quick there, got another turn, so I can now give turn over to Raddus, so I can go ahead, do his big hit. Well, wasn't that big though, was it? So now we got, I think, 4 turns where they have their protection disabled and healing immunity. However, I'm stuck behind 9th Sister here, so I'm hoping we can take somebody down at least. There we go. They're coming more AoEs. Okay, perfect. Let's see if we can push back some Termiter 9th Sister. Good. What they've got for us, okay, good. As long as they go after Jean, I'm happy, because obviously she can't be defeated while Raddus is alive. Ooh, lucky there, no ability block on Raddus, and his AoE there was able to take a couple of those guys down because of all the exposes they had on them. But because of Datachron, whenever anybody's defeated, allies or enemies, they all get damage immunity. So definitely it was a little bit trickier there, but I was able to get it done for 62 banners, which is not bad. Okay, so another attempt, like I didn't want it to be a one-time wonder. I'm like, let's give this a go versus another team, slightly different Datacrons on them. And this time I decided to bring in K2, maybe with 2 tanks we can keep Raddus alive, but because my K2 is relic free, obviously unable to put better Datacron on these guys. Now in this case, I'm going first because they have the revive Datacron on level 3, not the Termiter one. I really don't want to use the Dispel yet, so I just decided to do Mass Assist on 7th Sister. Didn't do a whole lot, to be honest, but anyway, there you go. So at least I have now 2 tanks, so hopefully we can keep Raddus alive. However, they only got ability block on him, and as you will see, ability blocks will play a part in the outcome of this battle. But so far, you know, just kind of going there, surviving, minding your own business, throwing down AoEs, cleansing until you get the download progress complete. Definitely I can see with 2 tanks, I got a little bit more survivability here. Oh, almost got 9th Sister down for the first time, but remember, if I do defeat her, she will come back. I'm like, great, download progress complete. And now, just before my Raddus gets a turn, they finish off one of my guys, and now they have damage immunity. And I'm like, do I want to waste here attack to do damage to them? They've got damage immunity, better wait for it. However, then they constantly keep my Raddus ability blocked. So if I were to do this battle again, whether they have damage immunity or not, I think you just have to unload the hit, and at least this will then give them healing immunity, as well as disabled protection for a few turns. So hopefully you can then take somebody down, because the damage immunity just drops off in 1 turn. So definitely I feel like there's a misplay on my part, because the same thing happened. I could have used it again later on at one point, and again they had damage immunity, and then once they lost damage immunity, my Raddus was constantly ability blocked. So this, I think, slight misplay on my part, but I was doing this only for the 2nd time. So maybe if I would have played it differently, this could be more consistent. But anyway, I'll give it a go again whenever the next season comes back and see if, you know, we can get around that. All right, now we gotta deal with this Traya. Everybody putting this Traya team on defense, let's face it. So obviously, Sith Eternal Watt, this worked really well. I didn't know what to expect, but because we don't really dish out a whole lot of debuffs, they will not jack up their offense too much. And obviously with the tank tech there from Sith Eternal, from Watt on your Sith Eternal, you'll be able to keep dispelling any sort of debuffs they put on you. They did have the turn meter Datacron, so Nalus went first, increased cooldowns. Traya then followed with another cooldown increase. So it took like 2 turns until I was able to finally link. You want to link SWGOH, right? And you want to link Traya, because those 2 guys are very tough to take down. So once you do unload your ultimate, should be pretty straightforward from there on out. I definitely wish we would have more. We would have at least 2 more Sith Eternals and 2 more Watts to use, because they just make quick work of these kind of Traya, Malgus dash teams very quickly and easily, rather than you trying to sweat and find another way to defeat these guys. There we go, finish those 2 guys, and now I can just probably hit autoplay at this point, because these guys, they can't do a whole lot. Like Nihilus Annihilate will barely scratch your Sith Eternal. We're just waiting for another ultimate power, unload it, 65 banners. I think that went pretty well. But honestly, I wasn't always happy with giving out Galactic Legends to take down this Traya team, so decided to give Starkiller a go. I expected this not working just because so many debuffs we are giving, and they have 250% defense on their Datacron. But I'm like, let's give it a go, just to see, can I at least run turn meter train on these guys, can I keep them under control, and then we can worry about the damage and see if we can find a different way. So first things, I actually started there with a shock, just to land shock so they can't gain bonus turn meter. And obviously we applied stagger on them, pushing back their turn meter, and now we can just go about their business. I'm like, okay, let's go after Nihilus, try to go after Nihilus first, put a taunt there with old ban. There we go, but I soon realized that both Nihilus and Traya, especially with this 250% defense Datacron, I won't be able to get them down. They're just too tanky, too durable, same goes for SWGOH. And you know, all my guys here are relic 5, I don't have like relic 7 or 8 on my Starkiller, just 1 Omicron on him as well. So maybe if your Starkiller is better and your opponent doesn't put 250% defense on them, maybe they can get to work. But then I kind of got stuck behind Sion, but then I saw actually Sion is not that durable. He doesn't have so much health as, you know, for example, Nihilus. He keeps increasing his health into infinity with all these debuffs and everything we were putting on Traya and Sion. Traya herself is getting so much bonus protection whenever you land debuffs on everybody. And obviously you want to stay away from SWGOH so he doesn't cleanse himself. I was able to get down to Talon, and at this point I'm like, this is gonna be timeout. If there was only a way that you could ignore protection, right? And then I remember that actually Palpatine on his other special, when you use it, he deals 5%, everybody loses 5% health, which means it does ignore protection. So in theory, there we go, just use it there, you gain healing immunity, so at least your guys can keep healing up. So if maybe I would have started doing that earlier, I would have maybe enough time to drain all the health from these guys, just go below the bonus protection. And then another option is, if you do have Visas, mine's only gear 8, one of her attacks ignores protection as well, so she could be great source of ignore protection, or even Ben Solo. Like, it's not like Ben Solo makes Rey any harder to defeat, so maybe using Ben Solo in here, if you do have one of the Omicrons on him, all of his attacks will ignore protection. So maybe if you would start doing these abilities then with Pulps first, that he drains health from everybody, and then you either have Visas or Ben Solo ignoring protection as well, or maybe there's another unit I'm missing that can ignore protection. Maybe this would work. So again, another counter, same like Raddus versus Inquisitors, that I will be revisiting once 5v5 season returns, because definitely I don't want to be throwing Galactic Legends at non-Galactic Legend units if I don't have to. Here we go, everybody put some sort of dash Hondo team on defense, and I decided to give this a go. They weren't particularly fast. I think the fastest was dash at 308 speed or something like that, and my fin is at 350. So I'm like if this, let's give this a go. As long as I can get a turn before they get going, I think we should be good. Give turn over to Zorii, Omicron. I do have Omicron on Zorii, even at, you know, 3-star gear 8, as long as you can get going before the enemy does. In most cases you can start running turn meter train on these guys. Obviously you have to take out Vander Chewbacca first, so we stop the revives. So I'm gonna do mass assist, almost got him. Let's push back some turn meter. Let's go ahead, swap with Zorii, make sure to target somebody with exposes on them. I target IG, he had 2 exposes on him, and then give turn to Zorii, a mass assist, Vander goes down, and let's go ahead, go after dash now. Again, Finn keeps feeding turns over to Zorii keeps doing her thing. Okay, there we go, they were able to get a turn, but at this point obviously we dash down, they can't do a whole lot. Finish off the Quill, going after IG next, and then hopefully we can handle here alone Hondo with his level 9 Datacron. And even, you know, he reached maximum 50 stacks of, was it Ransom or whatever his buff is called. I don't know Hondo myself yet, so I don't know exactly how he works. But eventually I was able to grind him down for a full nice 65 banner wins. Definitely it was nice here to end on a positive note to all these battles. Speaking of positive note, the Executor triple attacker, this is what basically everybody puts on defense. And now they do have Scythe, I do have TIE Defender as well. I'm like, you know what, let's give this a go. Now, one thing to point out here is that Scythe, when you do have him in the starting lineup, will be granting +10 speed to your Empire. And why is that important? So that your Darth Vader, your TIE Advance, can be actually faster than enemy Executor. This is going to be important here, so we can use the basic, put a taunt over on TIE Bombers, and then TIE Bomber can take that initial hit. So there we go. TIE Advance goes first because of that +10 speed. You just put a hit over there on IG. This will now put a taunt over on TIE Bomber. TIE Bomber will take the initial wave of attacks. Even with a dodge. Thank you for your services. He did his job. Let's just go ahead now, get all those buffs away from them. There we go. Nice dodge because of the foresight. Now I can only bring in TIE Defender. Get a stun over on Xanadu Blood. I think this ability actually can be evaded. Can't be resisted though, but it can be evaded, I believe. So, you know, it can happen. You might miss, but I did this like 3 times and it landed all 3 times. So hopefully this should be, you know, quite consistent. Taking down IG, and at this point these guys can't do a whole lot. No Xanadu Blood, no IG. They really lost their main damage dealer and, you know, source of all that breach that they're putting out. It's a little bit annoying here. Sometimes they brought in Houndstooth, sometimes they bring in Slave 1, so I'm not really sure what's the logic of AI. I did lose there one of the TIE fighters, but those are just the sides, so they won't count. So really the only ship I lost so far is the TIE Bomber taking those initial hits. Let's go ahead, bring in a Pulp. We can heal somebody up, maybe recover some banners, get a stun on Razor Crest, finish him off, hopefully. There we go, before they bring in Houndstooth. There you go, 70 banners, pretty easy, pretty smooth battle. Obviously the first time I've done it, maybe I could have done something better, maybe I had great RNG. I'll definitely be putting out these counters more to the test in the upcoming Grand Arena seasons. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you find it useful and helpful, learning something from my successes and failures, I'll see you in the next video. But until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.